Did you know that the prehistoric oceans were packed with monstrous and threatening creatures? You definitely wouldn't want to live back then. So, we're here to show you the 10 deadliest sea monsters of all time. We've got sea scorpions, sharks, marine reptiles, a giant piranha. All this and way more. Welcome to Enchanting Facts. Get ready to dive into a bit of prehistoric ocean action over the next few minutes. The first monster we're diving into is the sea scorpion. I mean, scorpions are already creepy enough, but in the ocean? This creature lived between 541 and 252 million years ago. These arthropods come in several species known as sea scorpions. And despite the name, they're nothing like the scorpions we know today. They look more like giant shrimp. Yep, they were pretty huge. And some were at the top of the food chain, just like today's great white sharks. Back in those days, nearly all animals were gigantic, way bigger than the ones we see now. The largest species in this group, called Jacalopterus rhenanii, could reach about 2.5 meters long. This beast had sharp claws and was willing to munch on just about anything smaller than it. Yeah, even family members. And to give you an idea of how big this bad boy was, check out this image comparing it to a human body. Let's keep it moving. The Simosaurus roamed the Earth between 240 and 210 million years ago. It was a giant ichthyosaur, but what the heck is an ichthyosaur? Well, it's basically an extinct marine reptile. While dinosaurs ruled the land, ichthyosaurs dominated the seas. They swam through the ancient oceans almost the whole time the dinosaurs were around. Now, imagine this. The Simosaurus was the largest animal discovered back in the day, in both land and sea. It could reach an impressive 17 meters long and had a body somewhat like today's dolphins. And hang tight, the fun is just getting started. Let's see if you can guess. How much do you think an ichthyosaur's skull weighs? In the pic, it looks small, but it's about 2 meters long. Check out the size difference between the skull and a human. It's spine-chilling. Next up, let's chat about the Liopleurodon, one of the fiercest predators in the Jurassic seas. These reptiles weren't the biggest, but they still packed a punch, measuring between 7 and 9 meters. What really scared people wasn't the size, but the sheer strength and destructive capacity. They could weigh 1 to 1.7 tons, and their teeth could grow up to 7 centimeters long. Plus, this bad boy had an awesome sense of smell that helped it track down prey. Oh, and get this. It swam super fast thanks to its sturdy limbs that acted like paddles. Moving on, it's time for the Tylosaurus, which lived between 90 and 66 million years ago. This dude was a big marine reptile and a serious predator. Its name means lizard with a protuberance. And yeah, it was quite the sea predator. This guy could measure up to 15 meters and weighed between 4 and 7 tons. Its snout was like a weapon. It swam fast and knocked other animals out cold while hunting. At the top of the game, it would feast on just about any other species. Now, let's take a look at the Plesiosaurus, the legendary Loch Ness monster. This guy was also one of the biggest marine predators around. And, like the Tylosaurus, it didn't discriminate when it came to dinner. It also fed on dinosaur carcasses that floated on the surface. Getting closer, we have a real skeleton that was nicknamed Bruce. This skeleton is on display at the Canadian Fossil Discovery Centre and measures a whopping 13 meters long. Now, let's talk about the Zephyctinus. This dude lived between 87 and 65 million years ago. He wasn't a reptile, but a giant fish, one of the biggest that ever existed. It was one of the fastest, hitting speeds of 60 kilometers per hour, and could reach around 7 meters in length. These fish fed on other giant fish because, back in those times, everything was massive. They would gobble up fish that were up to 2 meters long, swallowing them whole without a second thought. Let's move on to the Helicoprion, a prehistoric shark that lived about 280 million years ago. It's known for having a freaky mouth full of teeth that looks straight out of a horror movie. Illustrations of this guy show a spiral-shaped mouth, and some scientists think that spiral might have been inside the shark's throat. It measured between 3 and 4 meters long and weighed around 300 to 450 kilograms. Another terrifying creature is the Mosasaurus, true sea monsters. They lived between 70 and 66 million years ago, measuring between 15 and 18 meters long and weighing about 5 tons. Besides the size and weird appearance, it had a powerful jaw with a bite force of 8 to 9 tons. Now let's chat about the Leviathan, which swam around 12 to 13 million years ago. This guy was a giant whale, kinda like today's sperm whales, and he was at the top of the food chain. The Leviathan could grow to 17 meters and weigh around 40 tons. Even its skull could hit 3 meters. Then comes the Dunkleosteus, a prehistoric fish that was way deadlier than the sharks of its time. It could measure up to 10 meters and weigh 4 tons. While some scientists believe it was smaller, what matters is that its bite was super powerful, enough to shred any prey to pieces. And of course, we can't forget about the Megalodon. It lived between 23 and 2.6 million years ago. The Megalodon was the largest shark species ever known, and is believed to have been the biggest predator to roam our planet. It ruled the oceans for 21 million years before mysteriously disappearing. It could reach 16 meters in length and weigh over 60 tons, with a head measuring nearly 5 meters. Its name means big tooth, since its teeth could reach up to 17 centimeters, and it had about 276 teeth spread across 5 rows. Its bite force could hit 10 tons, and its mouth was so massive it could probably swallow a human, a jet ski, or even a mini boat. So, how on earth did a creature like that vanish? Some scientists think it was due to climate changes, while others believe it was a food shortage. There's even a theory floating around that the Megalodon might still be alive out there. But that's a topic for those who love conspiracy theories and stories. Thanks for sticking with me to explore the most insane sea monsters that ever roamed our planet. Hope you enjoyed this top 10, and if you like this list or want to see an even bigger one, drop a comment below. And don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It really helps the channel out. Appreciate the company, and catch you in the next video.